What is up, Texas hockey fans? Welcome back to Clean Sheet of Ice, a Texas hockey podcast. On today's show, we're going to start off with the bad news. We're going to get the bad news out of the way. Injuries, LTIR, trade targets. We're going to get all of that out of the way, but the Stars did shut out the New Jersey Devils last night, 3-0. Great game from Jake Ottinger and company. It was coming off of a loss where we felt like they should have won. And we got the win. We got the shutout. This is Clean Sheet of Ice, the Texas Hockey Podcast, brought to you by Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Remix. We love Zing Zang over here. Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOY when you sign up. Play your first $5. Get $100 in bonus entries using our promo code CSOY. I'm your host, Stone Strankman. Joined always on a Friday. We're recording this on a Thursday, but on a Friday, Savannah Mueller. How are we?
We're great. You know what? The Stars, we got a couple points on the road. We'll take it. And we're going into the weekend here. They play the Sharks on Friday night. It's going to be great.
Yeah, I won't be in the building. I'll be in Houston. We got a Christmas party, company Christmas party for Apollo Media. I'm sure Savannah will be there, though. So we'll have somebody in the building to let us know what happens this week. Let's get the bad news. It's out of the way. Tyler Seguin yesterday was announced by goalie in the press conference before the game from Mike Heika that sent to the Stars media members, all the things. It was announced that Tyler Seguin tore his ACL. Brutal news for a guy that has battled so many injuries over the last 5+ years at this point, hasn't been able to find a way to stay healthy, and a lot of it's just not his fault at the end of the day, and it sucks because he was playing really well. It seemed like he was so excited to be back in the locker room, be on the ice, performing well, 17 points this season already, and it looks like he's going to be put on season-ending LTIR, which is the new caveat to LTIR from the previous years with the cap and cap certain navigation and all that kind of stuff come playoff time. ACL injury, out for the season, I would assume SELTIR. I don't know why we had to add new things to that letters. And now SELTIR is a lot harder to say than LTIR, but we're here. Season-ending LTIR is probably on the docket for Tyler Seguin. What do you got about it, Savannah? I'm just sad. Sagan's been my favorite player for over a decade, and I just hate it.
It's very sad news for him. He has dealt with so many injuries in his career. And just last year around this same time is when they had to make the ultimate decision that he was going to have hip surgery, that he was going to be out, likely coming back before the playoffs. We did get to see his return that last game of the regular season last year. But it's just brutal to see how far he came coming back from that injury after being out for so long. You do so well starting off in your 27 games played this season. He had 7 goals, 10 assists, was 6 in points on the team. And then you see this happen to him, which was just this kind of brutal play to watch. Stars fans are devastated by this. Tyler Seguin is such a heart to this team. Just a few weeks ago, playing his 1,000th NHL career game, there was going to be a celebration for him in December here at a home game. It's awful news for him, and I hate hearing this news and having to talk about this news, you know?
Yeah, it sucks because, funny enough, our podcast, Clean Sheet of Ice, me and Don's first ever episode was the day that Tyler Seguin got put on LTIR last year and had regular season-ending surgery on his hip, which is very funny because the first piece of Stars news that I scooped somehow was that Tyler Seguin was going to be put on LTIR and have that injury because they wanted to use the cap space to get into the playoffs. They debated putting him on LTIR before the season even started. They asked him if he wanted to do surgery. They kind of fought against it, but they decided on game 20. He obviously played 21 games last season, gets put on LTIR. Can't believe I had that scoop and had it well before we started the podcast. Whatever. It's weird how I lucked into that one. But this one, you texted me probably an hour and a half before the Seguin news kind of went public, and you're like, it's bad. And I was like, ACL? And you're like, yeah. I was like, okay, that's fine. He can come back maybe next year. And then we're hearing it's not a really good injury. It could be all 3 ligaments. It could be 2 ligaments, which makes the recovery harder and longer. Usually an ACL is like 8 to 12 months, depending on how bad it is. If it's on the severe side, it's definitely gonna be 12 months. So I would assume we're not going to see Tyler until next December at the earliest. Maybe it's January, maybe it's February. We just don't know how his body is going to react to the injury and the rehab and how much he's going to be able to put into it. Because last season we heard, I don't know, was it Robert Tiffin, whoever put out the story a few weeks ago about Tyler and how his recovery last year. And he's like, I don't know if I'm going to come back from this one. I don't know if I can get through this rehab again. And he did, and he was great. And now we're right back in it.
And it's awful for him. I did reach out to some very high level physical therapists, friends that I have that work with some very well known high level athletes in many different sports. And a recovery for this could range from close to a year. And based on Tyler Seguin's age as well, there's going to be a little bit of play into how that recovery goes. And then you're looking at his contract term as well. He's on, next year is supposed to be the end of his contract. 2026, 2027. So you're looking at maybe a year-long recovery, and then he's into that contract season. And there's just a lot of unknowns when it comes to how that recovery will go, what that will play into going into that next Stars season. But right now, it's a big loss for the Stars. They're dealing with so many injuries across the board. You don't have a lot of forwards that you're looking at right now because you have Matt Duchene out. Tyler Seguin was filling so many of these different slots and being able to score for the Stars. And now you have all these defensemen out as well. So the Stars injury bug, I think, is as worse as it's been in many seasons that I can remember.
Yeah, it's just like the sheer amount of people that are missing on this team right now from injuries. And last season, obviously, you have Seguin go out in December. You have that. You know that he's probably going to come back by the playoffs or roughly in that first round, second round. You're going to be okay. Then Miro Heiskanen goes out in January. When you're looking at it, you're like, I don't know if we're getting him back. You put him on LTIR immediately. You had the money to spend. You didn't end up spending his money last season because of the new rules heading into this season. The season-ending LTIR is different from the LTIR. So LTIR, I think if they just put Seguin on LTIR this year, it's going to be $3.8 million that they could use from his stuff. But then you still have to be cap compliant come playoff time. If it's SE LTIR, season-ending LTIR, then you can use the full 9.85 and still be cap compliant come playoff time because Seguin won't be activated. He won't be eligible for the playoffs. So it's a lot of things to look at, but it just sucks for Seguin because, like you said, fan favorite. He was playing really well. He grew some injury last year, turned his whole house or like a full room in his house into a PT station, basically a rehab station, and made it through, got to the playoffs, then hurt his shoulder in the playoffs and wasn't even 100% healthy with the hip. Played through that, then finally got to be 100% healthy heading into this season. And then Gavrikov just kind of falls into his leg and it's a freak play. Like it doesn't happen all the time. We saw it last year with Miro, a dive into the leg. Mark Stone, we won't dive into that one again. That's my most viewed TikTok. But other than that, yeah, it hurts for Seguin because he is the fan favorite. He is one of the heartbeats of the team. He's just a life of this team, smiling all the time, always joking around. He's always yelling at us in the stands during morning skate. He's like, hey, did you see that? And we're like, yes, Tyler, we saw it. He's just a big child. And it's going to suck to see him not on the ice again this year.
I would say not necessarily a positive takeaway, but it is nice that Jamie Benn is back in that room coming back from his injury, because while Jamie Benn was out, I know Tyler Seguin was the guy in there that everyone was looking up to, being able to take some leadership points from, and he was the guy that was holding down the fort for Jamie Benn. And now the roles have obviously reversed. Tyler Seguin, he's going to be out for the season. And at least we do have the captain, Jamie Benn, back because they did need a little bit of that boost in the locker room.
And goalies also mentioned Mikko in the same breath as those guys. Every time he talks about leadership, Mikko always comes up, which I think is a really cool thing because he showed up last year. And even DeBoer said it. He's like, I didn't know how vocal Mikko was because the Finns are typically pretty quiet. They'll say when they need to say something, and then you'll hear him every once in a while. But Mikko's one of the louder guys in the locker room. He's getting the boys riled up. They even said that the other night during the Black Friday game. Utah goalie mentioned he's like, Mikko and Jamie were the loudest ones on the bench, telling, hey, we're still in this. We're down 2-0, but we're fine. We're going to be okay. And they're the ones talking. I think that's cool. So still got Mikko. You got Jamie back. Whenever Dutchie comes back, he's going to be a leader. We know that. And he wears the A a lot of the time as well. So whenever he gets to come back, I keep wearing the hat, which we're going to give away on Monday's episode. We finally had 100 subscribers. So thank you for doing that. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. So there's enough leadership in the room, which is a good thing. But losing Seguin's just a big blow because he is a really good player. And people were saying he's not good on my TikTok yesterday. I was just like, you just don't watch the games. He does a lot of things. He's on the PK. He's on the power play. He's great on offense. He's responsible on defense. He's forechecking. He's back checking. He's doing all the things. So I hate that he's just gone again, because last year was my first year on the beat. Never really got to talk to him, and now I get to do it again. So we're
I
back.
know. And the fact that the Stars are doing as well as they are doing with where their standings are in the league right now. And you're already like, okay, let's talk about some spring conversations. What does this team look like if they are heading into the postseason? And you're like, you really want to have those moments where Tyler Seguin is maybe able to play in the postseason like he did last year. And it's just so tough to see him go down the way that he did. But the Stars will persevere. They've just been doing very fantastic given the fact that they now have a list of 10 different injuries from different guys at various points so far through 28 games. It's wild where they are in the standings and how they've been doing and leading the league in several different areas. It's wild.
Yeah, points in 20 out of the last 22 games. It's a marvel that this team is just alive, let alone second best team in the NHL. Absolutely insane. Before we get off this topic, Savannah, do you have any trade targets? Because we did this last year. Do you have anyone that you have in mind to use this LTIR money with? It's $9.85 million. Could be more, depending on any other injuries that happen this season. Hopefully it's just this. But had a lot of comments on my TikTok and on Twitter yesterday. Twitter was ablaze yesterday, putting out all these things. Colorado fans are out of the woodworks. Some Colorado fans on TikTok, though, nicest people ever. They're like, I hate to see that. I love Seguin, like as an Avalanche fan. So thank you, TikTok Avalanche fans. That's great. Twitter Avalanche fans, still on the shit list. So stay out. Go away.
Hey, you know what? The Twitter people, they love to come in the comments, the trolls.
They do.
But
They
it's
can't
fine.
help it.
I wouldn't say I have any type of trade prediction as far as a specific player that we'd maybe want to see. My whole thing is I believe Jim Nill's probably looking at this team right now as a whole. He's looking at these injuries. He's looking to see timelines. I would think that they'd maybe want to get somebody in the building a little sooner rather than later. You don't want to just completely drown your team for the next few months as far as them having to step up and so many of these younger guys having to step up in different roles. I think you need to fill some of those gaps a little bit sooner. And I'm sure the Stars and Jim Nill are already looking into how they can maybe come up with a solution sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and a lot of the comments I got yesterday was like, the Stars don't have any assets. And I was like, have you looked at the assets? Because they do. They have 3 first-round picks available to trade right now if they wanted to. Jim has historically not traded first-round picks until last year, where he traded 3 first-round picks. He could do it again. He could just say, screw the next 6 years. We've got a great team. Go get these guys in the building. The other thing you got to look at is Robo's contract for next year. You got to figure out what that's going to come in at, relative range, and kind of what you have cap space next year. So are you looking at UFA guys, or are you trading people that are under contract right now for other guys that are under contract in a relatively close, similar contract-wise, millions of dollars wise? And then you also have young players that are assets at the end of the day. Like Maverick Bourque, Liam Bichsel are 2 not maybe sought after. Liam's definitely sought after because they were talking about him last year. But if you're getting someone under contract that's a good deal for the next 4 or 5 years and you're having to trade one of those 2 guys, it's like, you got to give to take. You got assets. They could figure it out. There's no Logan Stankoven this year, but Liam Bichsel is probably the same caliber of player now this season in comparison to what Logan was last year before Liam showed up. Maverick Bourque is another one that's interesting that could be really, really, really good. We just don't know yet. And I think he's been good this year. The numbers just aren't there. So they have assets to trade. It's just, what does Jim Nill want at the end of the day? Is it UFA guys to use this LTIR money, or is it someone that's under contract for next year? And then you got to figure out the cap space with the Robo's contracts. Obviously, Labushkin, and there's some other people that you could trade. But it's going to be a weird thing. I don't like trading players necessarily on the Stars because we get to talk to them all the time. But it is a conversation that we kind of have to have now, that there are $9.85 million staring us in the face with this team.
Well, I think what would be the most ideal thing is to potentially get some of these guys that are injured back in. So I know we're waiting on Matt Duchene, Nils Lundqvist. We don't necessarily have a timeline for. Obviously, Liam Bichsel, he's going to be out for about 6 to 8 weeks, had to go through some surgery. And, you're looking at a couple of these guys, Thomas Harley potentially It's more of the timeline. Can the Stars potentially fill those gaps until a couple of these guys can get back into the lineup? They're going to take all of that into consideration. But if some of these guys are out more long term than anything, the Stars are probably going to make moves sooner.
Yeah, they're going to use this LTIR money, whether they use all of it or part of it or half of it. We don't know yet. Jim Neal's going to figure out the bucks. He's a mastermind at it. And I already tweeted out, just rename the GM of the Year award to Jim Neal GM of the Year award, because he's going to do it again, because now he has this money to play with. And I know Vegas fans are probably going to start coming out of the woodworks that we're using LTIR, even though they did it for like 5 straight years. This is only our second time using it. So stop yelling.
Exactly. It's going to be okay, you guys. Everyone can calm down.
So maybe sometime next week before Christmas, me and Dom or me and you will do some trade targets. I know I talked to Empty Netters yesterday. I tweeted at him. I was like, hey, we got to do some fake trades. So maybe they're coming on doing some fake trades with me. We're going to do it eventually sometime this month. We'll get that out. So we'll have trade targets for you. I just don't have them yet. I haven't done enough research, and I don't really know what the Stars want/need, because they're second in the NHL in points. People forget.
Exactly. And time will tell. Let's just see what the Stars can keep doing right now and where the gaps need to be filled. But I'm down for some trade talk. Let's do it. I need to do some research, get some guys going. What's the market like right now? And we'll go with that.
Yeah, it'll be fun.
Great.
Now for the good news, the good stuff. The Stars, 3-0 against the Devils in New Jersey, back-to-back games. First period was a little sluggish. Not a lot of shots. Just not a lot of moving and grooving. Obviously, they had 6 shots on net. New Jersey had 8, and Otter was really good. The defense was good. Offense was like, all right, can we just find something? No Seguin, obviously, so you're missing a big piece there. But obviously, you have 3 of the best forwards in the game right now on your team, so they'll figure it out eventually. So the first period was a little slow, a little sluggish. It's a back-to-back. You moved to a different state. I know it's not very far, but it finally breaks the scoring in the second period, 11 and a half minutes into it. Miro Heiskanen has the puck, and he sees that a defender is just completely moving the goaltender out of the way. He's like, all right, I'll take the left side. Just sniped it in from the left side. Miro Heiskanen opened up the scoring, and after that, I felt like the game was over. It just seemed like New Jersey wasn't going to score because Otter was on his game. The defense was good, and New Jersey wasn't creating enough on that end of the ice. And Miro Heiskanen was like, all right, I'll take this one. Game over, 1-0. Doesn't matter anymore.
Miro gets his 4th goal of the season. He's been outstanding as far as the assists go, but it's always great seeing him get a goal, and he just knew exactly where he needed to put the puck in that moment and executed for the Stars. But from there, the scoring just got going. In that second period, the Stars took control of that game, and the Devils definitely could not keep up. The Stars were able to get it done. And then after the Miro Heiskanen goal, you get into the Jason Robertson goal, which was a beautiful setup from Esa Lindell. I've watched that play over and over again. And Robo was just at the right time, right place, right by the blue paint. And Esa, that beautiful pass to him in the net. That was just a one-of-one beautiful goal.
Yeah, we're seeing Robo go to the net a lot more this season. Like against the Oilers, he was just camped out. It was on a power play, so they had one less guy, but he was just camped out on the right post, just waiting on them to be able to find him. And he's just like, all right, I will have my stick on the ice. All you have to do is hit the stick. It will go in. And it was a lot like that last night. He just kind of floated over to the left side of the net, and Esa Lindell, offensive mastermind, people are saying he's been really good this year on offense. Like he's taking shots when he understands that like there's no passing lanes open, but I'm being left open. I will take a shot here and there. He scored a few goals already this season, but the assists they're starting to stack up. A little 6 assists in 27 games. Not a big deal for Esa Lindell.
No, Esa Lindell, and I'm going to ask Jake Ottinger this question next time I chat with him. But do you recall last season when Esa Lindell, there was like a block that he made when they were on the PK, and Jake Ottinger went on the mic after, and he was like, I'm going to name my firstborn child after Esa. I need to see if that's the middle name of his new daughter, because Esa holds it down for just everybody on that team, and he did so last night against the Devils.
I believe it was against Winnipeg, that hand save that he had. He's just crazy, like covering the entire crease for Otter, who's somehow on the ground. Like it was just a chaotic play. But yeah, Esa's been really good. The the funny thing is that Jamie Benn got the secondary assist on the first 2 goals last night. So he's got 4 and 5 assists. I think that's a 5-game point streak now, I believe. So
Pretty good.
Yeah, pretty good for a guy that had a collapsed lung a month ago.
No,
Take
yeah,
that all day long.
Jamie gets it going. He's been solid for the Stars, especially on these road trips, and in the last 3 specifically. And then you get into that 3rd goal last night against the Devils. Mikko Rantanen sneaks it in. It got the puck easily just got dropped right behind Markstrom. Mikko tipped it in. Beautiful. He just was right there at the right time as well. And it's Mikko Rantanen. He's going to score all the goals.
It was a lot like the Kusi goal the other night for the Rangers, where it snuck through just a little bit, and Mikko was in the right spot, right time. Esa Lindell, offensive mastermind, 7 assists. Someone's not talking about it enough, and it might be me. But yeah, Mikko gets his 12th goal of the season. Robo's at 17 now when he had 3 weeks ago. So that's pretty good. I think he's only had 2 games without a goal in the last 3 weeks. Yeah. So we'll take that all day long. But Mikko getting on the goal sheet is really nice to see, because he had been an assist king over the last few weeks and hadn't been scoring those goals. He's got a couple this week now, and some good. That goal against the Rangers was absolutely nasty, and then last night was just an effort play, making sure, just taking a gander to see if the puck sneaks out. It did. Miro gets his 20th assist of the game, but the story of the game for me was Jake Ottinger. Every time there was a rush, there was a breakout, there was a one-on-one with the goaltender, like anything that the Jersey Devils threw at Otter last night, he was like, all right, I got it. Don't worry about me. A little flu game Otter for the boys. I think he had 30 saves. 30 saves, 30 for 30. Put him on ESPN, make a documentary about it. 30 for 30, 3-0 shutout for Jake Ottinger last night. He was the story. He was the first star of the game for me.
And coming off of being ill, which Casey DeSmith had to play against the Rangers because Jake Ottinger was not feeling well or had some type of illness, and for him to come in and have a shutout against the Devils the way that he did with the amount of saves, that is very impressive on his end, and he is a true pro.
He's a really, really, really good goaltender, and people are doubting him this year, and he just had to find it this year. He just had to figure it out. He's a first-time father. He's a first-time father. Let him get some sleep first, guys. Everybody stop yelling.
I'm still thinking Team USA, and we need to keep an eye on Connor Hellebuyck and see how his injury progress is coming along. But we're on the official watch for the Olympics as of this point. For multiple of the stars. I mean, Jason Robertson is now in a conversation there. And
Wyatt Johnston as well.
Yes, exactly. Yeah, lots of things happening. We're on the Olympic watch now, Stone.
We're on the Olympic watch for the rink, too. Like, what the hell are we doing? It's not ready, and it's 3 feet small. What are we doing? Milan, figure it out. What do we measure in centimeters instead of inches? Like, what are we doing here? I don't know.
Let's fly over and chat with them.
Would love to go to Milan. Heard it's a great place. I've only been to Rome, so maybe next time. So yeah, great game by the Stars last night. 3-0 shutout. Jake Ottinger was first star of the game. They got 3 separate goal scorers. Esa Lindell, offensive powerhouse. People are talking about it. Friday, Sharks. Macklin Celebrini, Will Smith come to town. It's a fun one. I won't be in the building, unfortunately. I will be tuning in, but I think it's going to be a fun game. Macklin Celebrini is like one of the top point scorers in the NHL this season. He's probably making Team Canada. I would assume that he is, out of the young guys, him, Wyatt, and Connor Bedard. I think Celebrini is the first one in. Whether Bedard and Johnston make it in after that, we'll see. But Will Smith has been incredible this season as well. The Sharks are not a good team, point blank. But at the end of the day, they're really fun to watch. Like, I enjoy watching Sharks game when they play at a reasonable hour.
Well, Celebrini is leading the league in assists right now with 26. Sure. He has been outstanding. The Sharks are a very fun team to just watch, even though they are not doing that well. But I would expect a pretty good matchup tomorrow night against the Stars. I think it's always been fun when the Sharks come into town, and then you have some really good guys on that team that have just been outstanding. Celebrini. And I think it'll be a good Friday night hockey game in Dallas. I'm trying to think if there's any other thing. It's Hockey Fight Cancer. It's Hockey Fight Cancer night for the Stars. So they will have that theme for the game. So that's my one note there. But yeah.
And Del Taco comes back. I learned that that's Ty Delandria's nickname the other day from a Twitter
Del
clip from
Taco.
Mason Marchment. Because they were saying like, what's the best nickname in hockey or whatever. And Mush said Del Taco, Ty Delandria. So I learned that the other day.
We do not have any Del Tacos in Texas, but there's plenty up in San Jose. I can confirm that.
They have a lot in El Paso if you want to go West Texas.
Okay.
I lived there for like 2 months. Yeah, whatever. But yeah, the Sharks are coming to town. They're like 13, 12, and 3. So they're not like a bad team, but they're not a great team. If you can shut down Celebrini and Will Smith or one of them, odds are you should score a lot of goals against this team. Their goaltending has not been good. It's been egregious at points in this season. So you should walk away with the win, but we've said that a lot this season and we've ended up with a loss. They're 5-5 in their last 10 and they're 4-7 on the road. So they're not a great team, but should walk away with the win there. I'm going to go 4-2 stars.
4-2 stars. Okay. I like that. I will do. I actually think the Stars are going to get going in scoring. I'm going to go high. I'm going to go 6-3.
Okay. I'm down for that. Would love to see a lot of goals scored in that game. And then we're going to also preview Sunday's game against Pittsburgh. It's a 5:00 game in AAC. Sidney Crosby comes to town. When Sidney Crosby comes down, you better be there because he's one of the best of all time. Really fun to watch as well. I haven't looked at Pittsburgh standings, TVH. They're in the wild card, 13-7-5, so not like dead, but also not a great team. Their goaltender is in trade rumors now with Edmonton. Sidney Crosby's older. Evgeny Malkin is a little bit older, but it's still the Pittsburgh Penguins. They still carry some weight. I know last year that game was it 7-1, 7-3? I can't remember. They beat the hell out of them early in the season. So we'll see what happens with that. I would like to come to this game. I'll have to see if I can. A lot of scheduling issues this week, but Pittsburgh coming to town. We got preview and predictions, Savannah. I know we haven't played San Jose, so it's a little hard to predict a game before it, but
Crosby, he has 18 goals so far this season. Brandon Hagel, 15 goals. Macklin, 20 assists. They're a hot team right now. I would say that one's going to be the tougher matchup of the two. I'm going to go. This one's difficult.
Yeah, they're 4-3-3 in their last 10, so they keep going to OT.
I'll say Stars win, but I think it's going to be a really close game. And I don't think there's going to be a lot of scoring. I'm going to go 2-1.
I'll go 3-2.
Okay.
Just more Wyatt, Robo, Mikko goals. One from each, please. And then an Essa empty netter at some point would be great because he's losing his touch on those long tosses from the other end of the ice. We need to ask him about that.
Maybe this is an OT one. Maybe it's 1-1 and they go into OT and the Stars can pull off the OT win. So that's what I'll say. What happened
last year at home later in the season? Didn't Dadonov have a hat trick against Pittsburgh and we lost in overtime?
Yes.
Was it 4-3 in overtime? I think Dadonov scored 3 goals and we're like, what the hell is this team doing? With Mikko Rantanen on the squad too. And we're like, can someone else score? And Daddy was just like, I got it, guys. Don't worry. Then they went to OT because they lost the lead. I think it was 3-1 late in the third and they scored 2 to get to the OT and then they lost. So I think that was part of like the 7-game skid too. So
yeah, it definitely was. And then I always still have PTSD from that Vancouver game from last year when they won in the last minute of the third period. I still have PTSD from that.
Granny had an empty netter. That game was over. And it very much wasn't. That was an awful loss. I don't think I had been that angry since like the Vegas loss in 2023 in the Western Conference Finals. I think that was the last time I was that angry at a game. So hopefully we don't have those moments this weekend. We'll see. Friday and Saturday in AAC. Should be a fun weekend. Savannah, thanks for hopping on. We'll do trade talk eventually. I don't know when I'm going to be ready for it. I'm still too sad to talk about names and what we should use the LTIR money for, but we'll get there. I'll get there. It'll be fine. I knew about the Seguin news 15 games before it happened, so I was able to process that before it actually happened. So that's tough, but Stars beat the Devils 3-0. This episode's coming out on Friday. We recorded on Thursday, so if anything happens before then, sorry, didn't have it. Can't help you. Whatever.
Be fine.
Hit that subscribe button though. 67% of you are not subscribed. in our watch hours. So hit that subscribe button. It's free. Turn on the notification bell so you never miss an episode or a short or a clip or anything else, or Savannah's previews that she puts up for those home games a lot. All of those will be up on our YouTube at Clean Sheet of Ice. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already on audio platforms for podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, anywhere. And we'll be giving away the Dutchie hat on Monday's episode. So tune into the last episode to learn how to enter, because it is a comment and it's on last episode. So go back to that one. I'll link it at the very end here. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that comment if you want to win one of these hats. And we'll be back very, very soon with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice. Shout out to our sponsor, Zing Zang, America's #1 Bloody Mary mix. We love Zing Zang over here and Zang responsibly all season long. And shout out to Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code CSOY. When you sign up, play your first $5, get $100 in bonus entries using our promo code CSOY. We'll be back on Monday with another episode of Clean Sheet of Ice, Texas Hockey Podcast.